Hey guys, it's DRutter. This has been a very tough video for me to make, and it's been on my desk for months, and I guess you'll see why in a moment. It should only take a few minutes, but if you can, please hear me out. Although, at any point, if you feel the video is not for you, then please don't continue watching it. No hard feelings or anything, I think it's best if you just back out and don't continue. For example, if you don't consider me your friend, don't watch any further. At least as far as people can be friends online, of course. And if you don't trust me, or if you actively distrust me especially, don't watch. And if you don't consider what I do to be worthwhile, don't watch. For the few hundred people that are still here, this video is about how the channel is funded. So now you know why it's been hard for me to make, because these are very unpopular videos. And it's about how it will be funded going forth. So once again, please leave if you're not interested. My goal is to secure the channel's finances so that it continues undisrupted, because I feel very strongly that the work the channel does is important and useful. First, some info about the channel. I started using YouTube over 7 years ago, but didn't sign up for my account until 6 years ago, and only did that because they made it so you had to have an account to view those videos with the women dancing in their underwear. You may have seen a few of those. But it wasn't long before I began to use the vast and free information on the site to educate myself, enact numerous positive changes in my life, and make a decision to help others do the same. I first got involved 5 years ago with a video supporting Ron Paul. I felt a desperate need to have a voice because nobody offline seemed to be hearing me. My first silver video was almost 4 years ago. Silver was $12 an ounce, gold was $8.50. I said, if you don't have silver and gold, you should, tentatively, to the 60 or 70 people who were watching at the time. But the channel's content was well received and continued to grow. Half a year later, I started CanadianSilverBullion.com to help my fellow citizens get small amounts of precious metals. I've done about 1,000 transactions so far. I've consistently published about 2 videos per week since then, and altogether they've been seen by 1.5 million unique households. A handful of people have made a point to let me know that this channel had a large part in changing their lives for the better, and it was really nice to hear from those people. Thousands, of course, have expressed their gratitude and praise for my efforts. I've been on radio shows like Wide Awake News, started the Billion Bugs chat room on Pal Talk, had my videos linked by Max Kaiser, Mike Maloney, and Zero Hedge, and have made friends with excellent YouTubers like DaVinci J15, Endless Mountain, Stella Concepts, Why Gold and Silver, Back Murder News, and so many more. There are 2 categories of costs that go into running the DRutter channel. One is dollars, and the other is hours. In terms of dollars, I run things very cheaply. I've been using the same camera from day one. I have some used lighting equipment. I don't spend anything on fancy editing or other fluff. I choose topics and methods I can do for next to nothing. I use props I already have on hand, and so forth. Even so, there's an unavoidable monetary cost to running the channel. In terms of hours, the channel has only 1 employee. I estimate I've put over 3,000 man-hours into research, video production, and channel management. Luckily, the channel's 1 employee has always, and will always, work on a volunteer basis. I can't think of a more important use of that time. I'll gladly give another 3,000 or more hours of my life for this project. But even with free labor, the channel must cover its financial costs, as I can no longer bear that burden on my own. Despite my extremely frugal lifestyle, growing some of my own food, never taking more than a few days off per year, and giving up most of my hobbies, I have no funds left to give this project. Even my personal stack of metals is gone, slowly sold off to pay to keep things running. What I have left is the personal items I've been given, I've traded for a few things with sentimental value. But for all intents and purposes, I don't have a stack anymore. In short, the channel has some minimal but ongoing financial costs, which over time have drained me to the point where I have nothing left to give but my time and my mind. The purpose of this video is to find out if what DRutter does adds enough value to the world to justify continuing it, and if so, where the finances will come from. What do other channels do? Some partner with Google to use targeted advertising on their viewers. No offense to those who do that, but I never have and never will. To give Google, YouTube any more control over my content and my privacy is not acceptable to me. That option is right out. Some channels are owned by people or companies that give them an operating budget, but I don't have that option. If I was well off, I'd just donate a huge lump of money to the channel, and this video wouldn't be here. There are channels that accept money from other companies, typically in exchange for advertising and/or control of the channel content. It's unlikely I'd be able to find a company that would advertise something I morally agree with 100% on my channel without wanting any say in the content, but I'm certainly willing to entertain offers. However, the fact that it hasn't happened in the 4 years up till now makes that seem unlikely. Some channels become disgusting shells of their former selves, whoring useless Chinese-made t-shirts, mugs, bumper stickers, and keychains to their viewers. Some go the pyramid scheme route. Others go the soap opera route, using their airtime to attack rival channels. Some resort to misleading thumbnails or tags to get hits, promises of free iPhones, teen vampire movie makeup tutorials, high-pressure marketing strategies, promises of quick profits, name-dropping pop culture memes, getting people to create sock accounts and post links in unrelated videos. No, no, no. Then there are the channels that won't go any of those routes and can't figure out another way and have to disappear. But there has to be some other way. A question that'll arise is, doesn't CanadianSilverBullion.com make a profit you could use to run the DRutter channel? The answer is no. After more than 3 years and 1,000 transactions, despite an incredibly stripped-down business model and a lot of effort on my part, I finally know why nobody else in Canada is trying to do what I do. Because there's no profit to be made. Sometimes after paying all costs associated with an order, I'll be up 50 cents. Sometimes I'll have just broken even. Then, every so often, almost like clockwork, a scammer will use the PayPal system, which heavily favors buyers, to rescind his payment and keep the silver. The net result has been 3 years of volunteer work. I do it because I believe in it, and because I think that by improving the world I live in, I'm improving my own life as well. But no, it's not a source of income. I have another business, which operates under a similar model, but in an unrelated field, that of collectibles. I've been running it for about a decade. It pays all its own bills, and provides a small profit, which I use to pay my rent and other costs of living. I've cannibalized this other business to pay for the DRutter channel, and to pay losses to fraud incurred on CanadianSilverBullion.com, to the point where it's in danger of collapse. To remain off the streets, I have to avoid destroying this business. I've received a few small gifts from friends I've made through this channel, which I'm very grateful for, and I've shown those in past videos. But 2.5 years ago, when several parts of my computer failed and I was going to have to spend my last piece of gold to get back up and running, a few friends gifted me with the funds I needed to get the parts replaced, and I've remained very thankful for that. It was as though all I had to do was make the need known, and a solution became available. I wonder if something along those lines could happen again. But I remember the calls of, "Get a job, DRutter," and "Why should you get something for free when the rest of us have to work for it?" Both at the time and sporadically since then as well. If it's dollars the channel needs, shouldn't I just get a job and donate them myself? I've got a degree in psychiatry, I'm healthy and young, I have a keen mind and a strong work ethic. When I decide to do something, I do it properly and I succeed. Absolutely, I could re-enter the workforce, take a 9 to 5, pushing the button, and feed the beast. I did it for over 2 decades, and I could do it again. In addition to providing some income, it would make my family, and my ex, very happy, as they've been pressuring me to, quote, contribute to society for years. And I'm not afraid of work. Right now I'm working over 12 hours a day, with maybe 1 day off a month. Why isn't a part-time job the obvious solution, then? 1. It would mean admitting defeat. I haven't worked for the system in 5 years. I haven't taken anything from the system during that time. In fact, I've never once taken a penny from the system in my entire life. I say that with great pride. I've never been happier, and I enjoy my life in a way I never thought possible. I've amazed everybody I know by surviving as my own boss in an economy that seems destined to obliterate small business. Going back to pushing the button for a corporation or for the government would pay the bills, but ruin me. 2. I feel I have more to offer the world than as a wage earner and paycheck spender. And 3. It would mean the end of the DRutter channel. I parent 2 kids, care for my sick grandmother, and run 2 businesses, in addition to things like hobbies and a relationship. There's time for a part-time job or a YouTube channel in there somewhere, but not both. Okay, I'll cut right to the chase and speak directly to the perhaps 30 or 40 people still listening. The channel has unmet need for dollars. There are people out there who believe in the direction the channel is headed, and who have some dollars they're not using. Perhaps you and I met through this channel and consider each other friends. Perhaps you're typical of this channel's viewership, which is a North American male in his 50s, and maybe you've done fairly well for yourself in this system, but you're concerned with the direction society has been turning and want to do something to help spread the message of liberty and sound money. Maybe you're a business I could get behind, as long as you don't want any control over my content. Perhaps you've done well investing in silver. It could be that you'd like to give a chunk right now, or smaller amounts on an ongoing basis. Maybe you'd prefer to help out financially, maybe instead by donating your time or expertise to the channel. Perhaps you'd like to sponsor the entire channel yourself. You could want to remain completely anonymous, or you could want it known that you contributed. All options. I've become an activist, a guide, an entertainer, I guess, and part of alternative media. The last few years of my life have been busy and hard, but more rewarding than any experience that came before it, other than being a father. I have so much more fight left in me, and many of the tools and contacts needed to be effective. I want to expand. I want to be more involved. I want to have more of an impact. I have so many videos on my to-do list, and so many more brewing in my head too. I want and need to do more. Instead of putting up a link to a PayPal account, which would be really easy, I'm going to ask that those who want to take action contact me directly to set it up. Of course, I'm open to all ideas and suggestions as well, which can be dropped in the comment section or sent to my inbox. The channel won't go away regardless of what happens. My 300 videos are going to stay up, and regardless of the outcome on this, I'll still try to contribute whatever I can when I'm able. In no way is this meant as a threat. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying, "Do as I say or I'm going bye-bye." All this is a genuine attempt to solve the problem of the channel's unmet financial need. It's me posing the question, does what I do add value? Put another way, I'm a staunch believer in the free market, and this video is asking the free market, does the DRutter channel produce more value than the resources it costs to support? I believe it does, but I'm just a tiny fraction of the free market. So, free market, what do you think? In liberty, DRutter.